With a year that's just delivered continuous bad news after bad news after bad news, I could finally talk about some great news, because it seems like after payment processors have went on a rampage destroying multiple companies, multiple creators, multiple artists, censoring the internet, and so many other things I'm probably forgetting about, finally we have a company, DLsite, that is standing up against payment processors and deciding to create their own payment system to be able to combat censorship and the attack on Japanese culture itself. So let's get right into it.
I mean, it was the way to go, honestly. Like, DLsite absolutely is the one website where, if you know, like, Japanese indie scene, a lot of the Japanese indie games are uploaded to this website. So to have this website, which is basically all about Japanese stuff. Of course, there are maybe non-Japanese games over there, but the vast overwhelming majority of them, it should be Japanese if I remember correctly. And of course, a lot of those are doujin games, a lot of those are hentai games, porn games. So basically, to have this website with this massive market, this website constitutes a massive market for those kinds of products, and to have basically out of touch foreign payment processors all of a sudden dictate you can only sell what we allow you to, even if it is completely legal in your country. It is absolutely unacceptable. And many platforms have voiced basically their discontent with the situation, like even Steam. Even if they were super quick to basically bend the knee, they basically were left no choice. I made some comments at the time that were like, I was like bashing on Steam, and I retract them. I want to apologize, because it became very clear to me after a few days that the entire fault is basically on the out-of-touch idiots like Collective Shout that were basically talking about how these games are gonna corrupt kids, even though they're not games for kids, like a porn game, for example, or a game with sexual themes, or a game that has strong scenes of like violence, gore. I'm not gonna go specific about what kinds, but those types of games, they are not games that an under 16-year-old should be able to buy. Those are not games that are for kids. And we have PEGI, we have ESRB, and and a plethora of other stuff, like I think Japanese have Cero, CERO, and like, if a payment processor can just come out and say, even if it is illegal, you cannot sell it, it completely defeats the purpose of those associations. It makes them purely informational, and completely, in my opinion, takes away all kinds of pressure they can, because it's like one of those scenes, like the people dictating to you, their masks come off, and they are basically a nobody. They are basically a weakling, someone that is completely worthless at the end of the day. Then the door opens and the real masters come in. And that is basically what has been going on. It's like the payment processor came in and they said, we basically have a monopoly, which is a monopoly on how sales are done, which is something that I think the antitrust officials of the various countries affected should look into, especially in the USA and especially in Japan, but of course also here in Europe. It's like so weird to me, because it just, why even do all this kind of stuff. Like, there was no need to do this. There was no need. It doesn't make your payment processing websites or whatever systems look any better. As a matter of fact, I think this gave you more reputational damage, brand damage, than basically just letting it happen and shutting the fuck up. It's baffling to me. It's absolutely baffling. But let's keep going though. So DLsite is giving a valid payment alternative, and I think others were about to do something like that. I think even Hideo Kojima, made a post where he said that he was looking into starting a bank or something like that. Which again is absolutely funny to me, that basically Visa, MasterCard, and I think also PayPal brought about basically the birth of competitors. It's like, if you shut up, if you just could shut the fuck up, you would have still kept your basically monopoly up until, of course, authorities would have looked into it. But the fact that you made such a stint about it in such a widespread hobby like gaming brought all of the attention to you, to your practices, to what you allow and to what you don't allow. And because of that, now everyone is basically saying, the moment I get a valid alternative to you guys, I'm jumping on it. I have a MasterCard credit card. The moment I can change it to something else that still allows me to make my purchases, but outside of the circuit of MasterCard and Visa, I'm gonna change my credit card, because I do not want to give a dime to these guys. They are undeserving of my money. And why are they so undeserving? Because they want to dictate how I am allowed to spend my money, even if it is within the legality of my country, or since it is European Union laws. Like, let's say, for example, some extremely Puritan bunch of insufferable ladies got a hold of those payment processing stuff, and they do not want any porn, they do not want any sex toys and stuff. Let's say you are a single lady, or you are a lady with a healthy social life. You just want to buy a magic wand, if you know, to maybe spice things up, have a bit more fun when you have to take care of your needs. And all of a sudden you get a message, hey, you cannot buy this. You cannot buy this if you use your credit card. You have to either retrieve the money and buy it in cash, so you are basically outside of their sphere of influence, or, which again, even if you have a nice workaround, it's still that you have to use a workaround. Why do you have to do that if it is legal to buy a magic wand or something like that? It's just stupid. But let's proceed. Let's see where this is going.
DLsite has announced that it will begin offering a new payment method, Mina no Ginko payment, as an alternative to credit cards. This is the news article.
By the way, Mina no Ginko, it just means everybody's bank.
Link, which takes you right to here, which says begins offering a new payment method to replace credit cards, everyone's bank payment. This is an instant payment service that is directly connected to your account and can be used by linking your account with your Vivon ID in the smartphone complete digital bank Mina no Bank. So, to kind of clarify this in a more simplified term, basically, within Japan, there is this new service that obviously is being offered for DLsite, to where now you could just directly link like your bank or whatever to be able to purchase content on their site without worry about, let's say, credit card, debit card companies like Visa and MasterCard or PayPal basically strangleholding the site and forcing them to remove content, or their entire site just goes belly up, so to speak. So, more or less, this is amazing news, because this is kind of like the beginning of companies finally just having enough. Enough is enough, they're tired of it, and they're tired of the constant pressure of these foreign companies just wanting to control them and stop them from making legal business within their country.
Again, this is completely fine, and if you think about it, this is just like when basically we had the issue with Patreon. If you know, Patreon got super overtly sensitive when it comes to certain kinds of content. Now, of course, you will have kinks in there, like incest and stuff, like some stuff that is not everyone's cup of tea. But you will have also things like at one point, I think they were basically choking out all kinds of people that were producing not only hentai or porn, but also stuff that is like risque, even if it was like artistic nude, that kind of stuff. And that is why, like, you see nowadays, especially if you go on Twitter and you find like a hentai artist or something, you will see they have like a Pixiv, they have a Ko-fi or Ko-fi, I don't know, accounts, and basically this is what happens. It's like you get overtly sensitive. You have a perfectly fine service and you get overtly sensitive with it. What will happen is that at the end of the day, people are still people that are fan of that content creator. They still want the content of that creator. And if it is content you for some reason decide to not allow on your platform, which you can do, by the way, if it is a private platform, absolutely you can. It's just very stupid to do. And lo and behold, they seem to be stupid enough to do it. But yeah, people still want the content. The content creator still wants to make money, and they see that there is still the demand. So all they need to do is simply just to swap to some other kind of service. And if I remember correctly, I think the Patreon went so far that they at some point were removing from Patreon content creators depending on their political statements. Like they made maybe if they basically said some wild stuff, which again, even I from time to time I say wild stuff. So that makes Patreon as a platform extremely unstable for a content creator. And when you're a content creator, and especially if you are a full-time content creator, so your livelihood depends on people watching your videos, people subscribing to your channel, people buying bits on Twitch, yada yada yada, all that kind of stuff. Well, all of a sudden you can go basically from having a stable income to having your income put in jeopardy. And even if you can go to another platform, that puts you in a very risky situation, because if you don't have savings, it's very hard to get people that were comfortable using one platform to subscribe to another platform, and then on that other platform subscribe to you. Again, it's one of those situations where even if you have a wide enough following, you have to account that you will suffer losses of revenue because of it, which is again a very scummy situation and easily avoidable by simply not being a pussy. I will just state it clearly. And if saying it like it is will get me banned from something eventually, well, so be it. I don't know, maybe I will go on Kick. But anyway, let's keep it going.
So this is just a massive step in the right direction, but I think I'm getting ahead of myself. First off, I probably should clarify kind of how we got here, but also what is DLsite,
right,
because there probably is a few people out there that have no idea what this site is and why it's such a significant move from this website. So DLsite They're a site that pretty much is stationed in Japan. It's a Japanese site that is all about manga, games, anime, audio, and more. And yes, they do have adult content as well. And so one of the big incentives for this alternative payment method instead of Visa and MasterCard is because they will now be able to legally house adult content without worry of payment processors coming in as like, you gotta censor this, but don't worry, we'll continue to sponsor Roblox, we'll continue to sponsor OnlyFans, and all the other stuff going on, but we're gonna censor anime and manga content because it's icky to us, all in the name of brand protection and stuff. But, yeah, so that is what DLsite is. But to give context how we got here, because there's definitely gonna be some out there that probably don't know why this is such a big move for DLsite in just Japan in general. Basically, payment processors have been just going crazy for years now upon years. But it kind of starts like decades ago, but one of the big things that really got people to really start noticing was with the whole Patreon fiasco back in like 2017, 2018, to where there was a lot of just creators on Patreon that got debanked or completely removed overnight, and it effectively just changed the entire platform, which is why there's a lot of people that shifted away from Patreon and went to a bunch of different sites to be able to be donated to, like different artists and stuff, because Patreon no longer allowed certain content, so they just were left high and dry. That was kind of more or less the beginning where most people, I guess, started to realize. Not like the mainstream or everybody around the world, but at least in the creator space, that's when people noticed. Then, you fast forward a few years, you had Visa and MasterCard, they start, kind of hammering in on Japanese culture, they start censoring random different sites in Japan that house either adult content or non-adult content. They even went out of their way to censor a dating app in Japan, and the reason why that's so significant is anyone that knows anything about Japan knows that they have a overall crisis when it comes to having kids. For instance, a population crisis. And it's a big deal over in Japan. And the fact that you have this foreign company like Visa, MasterCard coming in and debanking a dating app that's supposed to get like introverts out and about and trying to find someone that they love to be able to have like a family and stuff is definitely a red alert. And it pissed off a lot of Japanese people. And eventually, about within a few days, Visa, MasterCard and stuff, they redid what they did, and they allowed the dating app to have payments once again. But the point is that they are not just attacking adult content, just in general, they're going after everything they possibly can to kind of grip and gain control over the system.
First and foremost, that is a clear indicator that even if they want to push their morals, if enough people get against them, rally against them, they basically will just retract their attempts to control it. They will retract their censorship, and that means that at the end of the day, for them it's just business. It's just like someone in the within the company must have convinced the higher ups that those kinds of allowing people to purchase those kinds of content or enjoy those kinds of services with their payment processing platforms would somehow have people call into question their brands, their companies, which is so stupid, man. Like, if I go to a shop to buy a hammer, and then later on I use the hammer to bash the skull of someone in, I do not think anybody will hold it against. Forget the payment processing. They will not hold it against even the hardware store that sold me the hammer. Like, how the fuck did you think? Like, nobody sane would ever fault someone simply selling stuff that is legal for someone using it illegally. Like, I'll tell you that, for example, if you search for it, you will probably end up on a watch list. But let's say you search how to make a pipe bomb, and let's say for some odd reason nothing happens to you right away. Like, if you're in the USA, I bet the FBI would soon start already checking all the forums you went into, all your DMs, everything, just to see if you are searching for how to make a pipe bomb because you are, I don't know, you were up late, you drank you were drinking beer with your pals, you were smoking, I don't know, pot or something, and then at 3 a.m. you have like some this odd curiosity out of nowhere, and you need to satiate it. And so you go online and you search how to make a pipe bomb. Like, to distinguish that from, let's say, a terrorist or some radicalized individual that would instead do that and then actively and then there will be a probability of them going on to purchase the stuff to basically fabricate it. But let's say you're the latter. Let's say nothing happens to you when you research for it and you want to make one. And let's say so you start going to the stores and you start to buy, I don't know, maybe tubes to do the body of the bomb, and then chemical stuff, whatever. I have zero idea. Please do not arrest me. I actively do not know how to make, how to fabricate explosive items. Like, I do not know, and I don't want to know. I'm even scared to handle fireworks, like the little fireworks that you like rub onto a hard surface, they light up, and then you throw them before they explode in your hands. That's how much of a pussy I am when it comes to explosives. But yeah, basically saying, you buy all the items to fabricate it, you use it in some malicious way, and you cause harm to people. Well, everyone is gonna fault you, because at the end of the day, you are the one that went on to research how to do it, you are the one that went through the trouble to purchase all the different items to fabricate it, and you're the one that sat their ass down and put time and effort to make an item with the intention of harming people. The responsibility lies solely on you. It's not like if you used a MasterCard credit card or a Visa credit card to, I don't know, buy the PVC tube to make the body of the bomb or whatever. Like, the police is not gonna go to Visa and say, hey, you assisted or you are complicit to some degree to this crazy guy making a bomb. It's just not gonna happen. It's just something that is not gonna happen at the end of the day. So I don't know, I'm completely stumped by this decision.
That's basically what it's been about for a very long time. And as another big detail added on to this, the reason why people are very upset is because the content they are censoring is legal content within all these different countries. It's a legal transaction, there's nothing illegal about it, and the thing—
Exactly, it's not like it's, I don't know, it is some rogue website on the deep web where you can purchase illegal videos. I will not describe what kinds, but I will let your imagination fill the rest, fill the gaps. But it's not that, it's just like porn. And again, even with all the digital acts, even with all of this stuff, like, you want to buy a porn game and you cannot do it because Visa or MasterCard say no. Guess what? I can still go on X videos or I don't know, X Hamster, X something, Pornhub, whatever. Like, I can go on all this. I can go on X. I can go on fucking Twitter and basically find porn. Like, they didn't stop absolutely nothing. And if you're talking about the digital act, by the way, let's see, the kids using Gary's mom to identify as adults. Like, this is Forbes. That's right. Reject everything now. Reject everything, say my choices. What? Why is gray? Okay. So basically, they're using like the feature of Death Stranding that allows you to have the name. Come on, it's Bridges. The surname is Bridges. The But I mean, you get it. Like, you can make expressions with this with the protagonist, and basically, like, they will tell you open your mouth, and you can make him open the mouth, and that will bypass the UK Act, because look at it. And again, by the way, to credit Death Stranding to even more, it's very lifelike. Like, look at the hair, look at the hair, the beard, the face. Like, he even has like zits, and maybe sunburn a little bit. But yeah, and again, I saw the picture of them using like the old guy from Garry's Mod. I have safe search on. Okay, perfect. Yeah, they were using this guy. They were basically pre-making expressions. Then they were basically putting their taking photos, putting their phones in front of the camera, and then they were validating themselves. Man, what the hell are kids doing with that? Not with Death Stranding. I mean, with with Garry's Mod. Sorry, I had a small aneurysm. Yes, Chibi Toilet or Manga. They made, like, again, I know this, and I know Obanga stuff. I have zero idea what the hell where the hell this guy is from, and I have even less of an idea of why the hell there is a modified image of Putin. But I know, like, these ones are called netbots or something like that. Again, I'm feeling like a boomer right now.
Thing about this is that these companies should not be getting in the way of you being able to use your money if it is legal. They should be worrying about other issues, so to speak. And one of the big things they use is brand protection. And let's be honest, I've talked about this already, but for those that don't know, when you use your card, like Visa, MasterCard, whatever, to make a purchase, let's say anywhere around the world, your first thought in your head is like, man, I can't believe Visa is allowing me to buy this right now, allowing me to buy groceries or whatever. Your thought is not thinking about their brand. You're thinking about, oh, this is my money I'm using right now to purchase something. Exactly. And the fact that Visa has butted into this conversation has now made their brand more damaged, I think, than anything else. People look at them in a very negative way, which is why this DLsite stuff is so important, because this is a fight back. It's like the market for, against Visa, MasterCard and stuff is kind of correcting itself or trying to fight back in some way. Now, there is some unfortunate news to this announcement, by the way, for DLsite, which I do think needs to be talked about, so let's get into that. So, the sad thing about this entire news with DLsite is that, from my understanding, it's just for Japan, which is still good news, don't get me wrong. It's very good news, because it is a start. Japanese companies can still legally operate without worry of a foreign entity coming in.
But think about it this way. If this Minano Ginko decides, sorry for making it small. So let's say if this Minano Ginko, if everybody's bank decides to go global, basically they will be able to offer this payment processing option together with like the phone company. But yeah, they will be able to offer it to everyone, and it will be a direct competitor to Visa and MasterCard that is not as, I don't know, rotten, brain rotten, whatever, gullible as they are. It's gonna be an incredible move by them. Like, if I could, I will probably invest money in Minano Genko, and I will probably try to convince them to expand their area of operations to other countries. Hey, yeah, of course, they start first with other Asian countries, but soon enough you will be able to expand it to Europe, to Latin America, to United States, and I don't think anybody will be able to stop you, because at the end of the day you're just being a competitor in a market, and the market is the market for payment processors.
And destroying them, but it is still sad news, because if you live outside of Japan and you don't have access, for instance, to this payment method, then you theoretically will not be able to use this payment method. You're still kind of...
I mean, yeah, but other competitors are gonna come up, are gonna appear sooner or later. Like, again, I think even Elon Musk was maybe fantasizing in a post about creating a direct competitor to Visa and MasterCard. I can't remember if it was him. I remember Kojima was about a bank. And I remember Elon Musk also saying something, because hey, at the end of the day, also Elon Musk buys games, and I'm sure, I don't know, even with all of his billions, he consumes some kind of adult content from time to time, even rarely, like almost everybody does. Again, I want to admit there may be people that absolutely do not make any use of porn or other kinds of adult content. But again, I want to remind you, I'm using porn because it's the most blatant. But again, they are restricting also other kinds of content, like any depictions, for example, of sexual assault, any depictions of rape, any depiction of CSA. And again, I'm not talking about gratuitous depictions for sick individuals. I'm talking about, for example, movies that tackle those subjects. For example, they show you or imply to you that something happened to the protagonist, and then throughout the movie you get to see how they overcome the trauma. You are made witness to the gravity of those actions and stuff, yada yada yada. So again, it's not even about just content that is gratuitous with it, or that depicts it positively or doesn't depict it negatively. It's just any kind of depiction of those. So again, it's like such a gross restriction of what you can do, and it's like a gag put on the mouth of maturity. Like, if you are a mature person, if you are a person that loves stuff that is like handling some very serious subjects, well, even that kind of content will be limited by the very how can I say, it's very generic and too broad of a list that they made. They do not consider context, they do not consider the way it is depicted, and so, because of that, in my opinion, they do not even consider if it is explicit or if it is implied, or even if it is allegorized. They do not consider anything. You should take them at their value, and if you don't, even if they allow you to produce that kind of content in the way you made it, because maybe they tell you absolutely nothing, you're still putting yourself completely at risk of them one day waking up saying, hey, I saw that guy making stuff that we don't like. Yeah, okay, it is time to remove it. Let's get it out. Like, again, it just very scummy, and it is disgusting to me. Like, in my eyes, it's like such an overreach, such a complete attempt to control everything just because somebody convinced some very out of touch people that unfortunately are hierarchically very high in those companies to pursue this line of behavior.
Locked out of making purchases with like your, let's say, debit or credit card if you're still using Visa or MasterCard or whatever. So that's still an issue. But I feel like if this kicks off the ground, it becomes more popular, there will be probably a lot more companies that will follow suit. Because
But yeah,
it's like, there's been
absolutely.
a lot of damage to so
Competitors
many companies,
will
like
appear.
Katakawa, for instance, literally called out payment processors like a few months back. I mean, we had damage to their overall systems when it comes to Nico Nico. You mean, the recent stuff like a week ago with Manga Planet literally having to shut down their entire digital store, you're gonna piss off the wrong person eventually. Like, these payment processors will anger the wrong company that just does not care anymore, and they will find means to go around Visa and them if they need to. And I feel like that is the beginning. That's what we're seeing right now. We're starting to see that, because you gotta remember, Japan's already been getting hit by stuff like this for years at this point, for a very long time. It's not something relatively new that just started happening in 2025. It's been ongoing, and I've been covering this topic for a very long time. So it makes sense why this is happening in Japan first before anything else, but I do think that as this continues to progress, I could see stuff like maybe Steam eventually intervening and doing something as well, similar to what DLsite is doing, to be able to circumvent what they're kind of doing to their platform, and maybe Itch might jump in as well to also combat what's happened with, like, the gaming space. But, yeah, I wanted to bring this news to everybody, because this is incredibly important news. This is some good news. I mean, it's not perfect news, but it is good news. This shows an escalation of fighting back. This is actually the first real good news of fighting back, because the reason why this is significant is because there is now an alternative method. It's no longer you either choose Visa or MasterCard or PayPal, and if you don't follow the rules, you're just debanked, you can't make more money anymore, or you fight back against them and you just give stuff out for free. And as much as people like free stuff, at the end of the day, these companies do need to make money. So I'm glad to see that there's fighting back, and yeah, just great news. I just wanted to share this with all of you guys, because this is a rarity nowadays, at least for 2025. So yeah, hopefully all of you enjoy it. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. Leave a like on the video too, and also leave a comment. Helps with the algorithm and more people to see this video in their feed, and to spread awareness of what's going on, because this is good news, and I hope more people see this, because if more people find out about this, that means that other companies might get the same exact idea. But okay, be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.
I mean, absolutely. At the end of the day, I agree with him on the fact that other competitors will come out, and that while Steam and itch.io still didn't take measures to basically counteract this gross overreach by the payment processors, I think it is a matter of time. I think probably even more than Steam, itch.io will be the first to move towards finding alternative ways to have payment done, because it has a huge indie community, but I think it has even a bigger adult game community than Steam does. Again, it's just like so weird to me. It's just like this company is absolutely stupid. And again, I'm talking about the payment processors, but they're so stupid, man. They are just so utterly stupid for going after the way people spend their money. It is absolutely insane to me.